Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Miracle. Before we get started today, I just want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you who took the time out to watch my first video. Talking about how God really blew my mind, especially in the last 4 years financially. If you haven't gotten a chance to check that video out, you're slacking and you need to get on that as soon as possible. So judging by today's title, you see that this video is an opportunity for you to get to know me. I think that's one of the greatest kind of like rite of passages for YouTubers, to have some sort of a opportunity for you all to see more into who we are as individuals. And I'd be remiss, like I said in the last video, if I didn't give y'all an opportunity to know more about me. So I'm going to start with the basics. Number one, I am 22 years old. I just turned 22 on June 9th. Can we get a round of applause? Something? Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank God for another year of life and health and strength. Yeah, 22. Feels weird saying that, but I'll get used to it. Anyways, moving on. I just graduated college, which you guys found out too. I graduated from Liberty University. Again, for those of you who don't know, it is in Lynchburg, Virginia, right in the heart of the mountains. Great place to be. And lastly, I was born in Washington, D.C., but I grew up in Maryland. And the funny thing is, I went to school in Virginia, so I'm pretty much the heart of the DMV. DC, Maryland, and Virginia, in case y'all don't know what that stands for. So moving right along, I took the opportunity to poll my social media, specifically Instagram and Snapchat, asking you all to ask me some questions that you would like to see featured in this video. So a lot of you gave me some very good questions to answer, so hopefully I can get to all of you within a time frame. Don't want this video to be too long, but just want to give you all a quick little gist about who I am. So number one, probably the most asked question is, what is the story behind your name? So I figured I'd bring in some help for this question because I wasn't around at the time to know what the full-on meaning behind my name was. So this gentleman to my right, maybe left, depending upon how this video gets flipped around. Yes, this young man sitting next to me is my dad. I figured I'd bring in the expert.
Well, your mother's not here in this video, but I know why you end up with the name Miracle Faith. All right. That name came by inspiration and the Lord speaking to your mother, because we didn't have a name for you. We didn't decide to give you a name. We wanted to seek the Lord and let Him give us the name for you. So the Lord gave your mother the name Miracle Faith because it was a miracle faith situation throughout the birth. And so what had happened was that she was trying to enter before her time.
So I was premature, right?
You were premature, but the doctors had to stabilize the birth until you fully developed. The critical part of it was your lung has not developed, and you were pushing the canal trying to enter. And so they created some miracle medicine, and they stabilized you, and they were able to develop your lungs, and you came. So I said, name you Miracle Faith Pearsall. So that's how you get your name, Miracle Faith Pearsall. And it fits you well.
Does it?
Yes.
You're not just saying that for the video?
It's a very unique name, and don't too many people.
Somebody's calling.
Don't too many people have that name.
Well, guys, shout out to my dad. Thank you. He has to go answer the phone. But yes, so that is essentially the meaning behind my name. Next question I got, which was asked by a lot of you, was why did I choose to go to Liberty University? For the record, I never chose to go to Liberty. Liberty was never on my radar. I think I said that at least 10 times alone in the last video. But Liberty was never on my radar. My cousin was transferring to Liberty and was pursuing some basketball opportunities, and they toured the campus and they were like, oh my gosh, like Mimi, which is my nickname. We love this school, like we really think that you would really like it. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to Ohio University, which at the time was the best school for sport management. They kept like really being persistent. They're like, you should go to college for a weekend, which is like a great opportunity to like tour the campus, stay in a dorm, and get that true like college experience, especially for like a weekend. So I went, and like this was like, when I actually finally went, it was still a process of me like talking to God and just getting kind of like guidance as to where he wanted me to go. And during those months, because when I first found out about Liberty, it was my sophomore year of high school. So it was that whole year that I was, you know, really like talking to God, trying to figure out like, okay, what's my next move? And the Bible talks about how like in Proverbs 19 verse 21 that like many are the plans in a man's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. And that scripture really like resonated with me, because I didn't realize how many plans I was making for myself, and until it came down to like having to decide like what school to go to. And so during those months before I actually sent in an official application to Liberty, it was a breaking of my own personal plans and allowing God to like have his way. I visited, and as soon as I stepped foot on Liberty's campus, I felt the peace of God. Like I knew that was where I was supposed to be. So it worked out, and I, you know, got accepted, literally got my acceptance letter as soon as I came home. So that was a long story, but I just wanted you to see how like I didn't necessarily choose Liberty. God chose Liberty for me, and I'm glad he did, because I loved it. If I had to pick, pretty much everybody knows that I'm a tea drinker. I do not like coffee. I had coffee once and it was terrible. Sorry, somebody just walked by. That was awkward. Coffee is terrible. I don't know why y'all like it so much, but to each their own. I'm not judging you all, but yeah, the tea anointing is all over my life. I love tea. I love sweet tea. My favorite of all time is raspberry tea. If you're asking for my favorite drink, which somebody did, I have to put that sweet in there because they will bring you an unsweetened tea, and I don't want to have to fight nobody. So yeah, anyway, so next question. So let me go down the list, beginning with the NBA. A lot of people get confused, especially through my Twitter, of where my loyalty lies with my sports teams. But I was born in DC. I've been raised in Maryland, so I have a lot of loyalty to all DC teams, and I am a Wizards fan by nature. However, I am a huge fan of any of our homegrown talent, and wherever they may go. And for me growing up, the player that was most emulated at the time was Kevin Durant. He was our hometown hero. A lot of people like to think that I'm a Warriors fan because I cheer for Steph Curry. I just cheer for believers, and I just love his family and just what he stands for, like all these different things that like, I love him as a person, and it translates to his game. Like I just love good basketball, and being a former basketball athlete, teams that really facilitate the ball well is just kind of like that, oh my gosh, like I love this. So they're kind of like my postseason team, because the Wizards haven't really made it that far in a very long time. So we're going to be extending our hands to them and praying that with this new draftee, I heard they signed Jalen Robinson from Virginia Tech, as well as they got the 9th overall pick in the draft, who's from Japan, which is really cool. So let's hope the Wizards do a little something this season. NFL, I am a die-hard Redskins fan. I love my Skins. Like there's nothing you could ever say to me about the Redskins that's negative and you won't go unchecked. Like I love the Redskins. They have disappointed me, just like most DC teams have. We're just gonna pray and lift up DC sports as a whole in general. But we thought that the Capitals broke the curse, but we're just gonna pray and see like where these seasons go. But shout out to the Capitals as well. Yeah, so like my main two sports that I watch really is football and basketball. And also ask what are my favorite sports, and it's football and basketball, obviously. Basketball being number one because I played it. What's your favorite ice cream? Great question, because a lot of people got this wrong at my graduation party. You know who you are. But my favorite ice cream is cookies and cream. I love anything and everything Oreo. Oreo is the way to my heart, and Jesus, of course. But yeah, Cookies and Cream is definitely my favorite. Do I edit my own videos? The answer is yes. I edit, record, and do all of my videos myself. I'm actually shooting on my iPhone XS Max, which is actually pretty great for filming, and I would be willing to do kind of a tutorial for you guys if you're interested on how I edit my videos. Alright, so somebody asked what are my top 3 worship songs, and it's kind of hard because there's so many good like worship songs out there that really get you caught up. But if I had to choose, I would start off with number 1, Made a Way by Travis Green. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Travis Green. That song is like really a tearjerker. Like sometimes you can't even really like listen to it without, you know, feeling those emotions again. But that song will really get you through a lot. My second song I would have to say is Oceans by Hillsong, because honestly, between that and Break Every Chain, which is my third one by Tasha Cobbs, I can hear those songs a million times and I will never get tired of it. So someone asked, why am I still single?
Well. Next question. See ya.
So that's funny. But it's mostly because it's a personal choice. Solely because I am very like I'm easily distracted sometimes. Getting my education and balancing a career is a lot. Not saying that, you know, I wouldn't be able to do it, but I just think far as the goals and things that I have and that God has for me, like I think less distractions the better. So my singleness is a choice and I'm content in my singleness. But at some point I would like to get married and start a family. That is like one of the goals that I have, life goals, so to speak. So when it happens, it happens, but I'm in no rush. Just because I went to Liberty does not mean I want a ring by spring. I'm taking my time and going in the Lord's time and not Liberty time. So I'm in no rush to do anything. Someone asked what my next step is.
3 hours later.
To be honest, yeah, don't really know. I'm accepted into grad school at Liberty, but I haven't necessarily registered for classes yet. It's just more of a waiting for God to provide type of thing, as we've been in this situation before. So I'm always trusting God on what my next move is, and I'm stepping out in faith. And hey, like if it leads to me pursuing a master's, then by all means I will be ecstatic, because that's something that I've always wanted to achieve for myself. You know, and just set that precedent, especially for my family, because not a lot of people in my family hold master's degrees. But just having that opportunity to pursue, you know, higher education would be great. But I'm also thankful for the fact that I graduated. But as far as next steps, I'm just hoping that within like the next few years that I'll continue to grow and go in the direction that God wants me to go, and that like I'll be happy and not necessarily content, but always striving to be better and do better. So thank you guys so much for tuning in on this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I answered all of your questions. If you have any more questions, feel free to hit me up on all my socials and I'll answer you as well. Yeah, so remember, be kind, show love, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
When Jesus taught this, they said, okay, how shall I handle this? Shall I forgive my brother 7 times? Jesus said, it has been said unto you, you shall forgive your brother 7 times. But I say unto you, to forgive him 7 times 70.
I wish forgiveness was easy.
Forgiveness is not an act, it's a way of life.